The 1981 TV movie This House Possessed is about a technologically advanced house that gains sentience and falls in love with a person. But it's the toxic type of love, the kind where if the house can't have you, nobody's going to have you. It's a big mid-century modern mansion with lots of glass and wood. It's ahead of its time. They explain that the architect was a genius, and that's why it's equipped with tech that wouldn't have been in a house in the 50s when it was built, and probably not even in the 80s when this movie came out, including excellent CCTV that watches everything and lets us see what it's watching. So, there's not much in the house but a TV on the floor, and the TV and the house through it is watching a rock star played by Parker Stevenson, who's singing a pretty bad song in a club called Sensitive You're Not. He collapses from exhaustion, and he goes to the hospital where he meets a nurse played by Lisa Eilbacher. Audience of the time would remember that these two were both on the Hardy Boys in the 70s, but I remember him from North and South. And she seems familiar, but I really don't know why I know her, maybe from repeated viewings of This House Possessed. So he invites the nurse to become his private nurse, but the house is in love with one of them. I'm not going to say which one. And there's an eccentric woman in town they call the Rag Lady. She's completely made up to look bad. You wouldn't notice that it's the glamorous Joan Bennett, who was a Hollywood ingenue in the Golden Age and was later in Suspiria and Dark Shadows. She knows the secret about the house. She knows that the nurse, who's calling herself Sheila, is really named Margaret. But the house knows that too, and it keeps calling her name. Well, that about sums up the first act of the movie. I don't want to spoil this because if you're into classic TV movies, then you'll want to watch this. The whole thing is on YouTube. But I will say what I think the tech represents. There are people in the movie who don't feel like they have a place in the world. Parker Stevenson's character doesn't do drugs, so he feels left out of the lifestyle that his musician friends have. And Lisa Eilbacher, I don't want to give away too much, but she has had a complicated past, a complicated childhood, let's say. And Joan Bennett, because she knew the truth about this evil house, has been ostracized from the town because no one believes her. But why is there a fear of technology not giving people a place in the world? I think the house is too modern for the time it was built. It's still very modern for the 80s. There's a fear people have of becoming obsolete because the tech is too good. This house, for example, doesn't need a housekeeper because the house filters all the dust out of the air, or so we're told by the real estate agent at the beginning of the movie. That fear that tech is going to drive people out of their space in the world. The movie is full of people who feel like they don't have a place in the world. We don't know what the house is possessed by because it's as if the technology just came alive and developed this toxic love for a person. I will say the violence in this movie is pretty gnarly for primetime TV in 1981. You've got somebody in a car and the car gets crushed by a gate and catches on fire. Somebody gets boiled in a heated swimming pool, and there's a mirror that starts breathing and throws glass into someone. They reuse that effect. The fireplace starts breathing and then the bricks fly out. The only other place I've ever seen that is in the Italian horror movie Ghost House, the Evil Dead ripoff. So I would say the cautionary tale here, other than don't let technology take away your job, is that if you see a mirror breathing, get down and cover the important parts of your body. I guess I have to say something here at the end on a personal note. Every time I bring this up on one of those can't think of a movie threads, the tip of my tongue, or find a movie, people always bring up This House Possessed. It's not that scene that I'm looking for. There's a scene in this movie where someone is showering, blood starts coming out of the shower head, and they're trapped in the glass shower. That is definitely not the movie I can't remember. I remember a movie from the 80s, and it's also not the movie Pulse, not Cairo, but the other Pulse from 88, where electricity's taken over and killing people. That's going to go in this Evil Tech series somewhere. There's a shower scene in that movie where somebody starts getting cooked, but it's not that either. I remember someone in the shower and someone else casting a spell on them. As I was saying, this scene, I can't remember, gets brought up as This House Possessed or the original Pulse, and it's neither of those. It's definitely not Cluthu Mansion, Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Cell, the 90s TV show Charmed, or Dark Water. There's a woman taking a shower, someone casts a spell on her, and the shower starts filling up. You see her take her foot and rub it over the drain. Why isn't the drain draining? Then it fills completely up with water in this glass shower and drowns her. And I can't find that movie anywhere. So if anyone knows and knows that it isn't This House Possessed, I would sure like to know what it is. There's another movie I can't find no matter what I do, but I'll bring that up in another video that may be more pertinent to, well, whatever I can find to talk about it with. So, I'm sorry if I don't sound so good. The pollen count is real high here in Georgia, and I can hardly talk, but I want to get this posted up so I can move on to the next evil, sentient house in love with a person episode, and that will be Electric Dreams coming up on Friday. Until then, stay tuned, stay on the line, stay away from flying glass, and have a good night.